One big deep breath together. Take it in. And relax and exhale. Good day to you. My name is Olm Gyan Dharam. I'm also walking here upon Turtle Island, North America as Meteorite Orca Chief. It's a calling, a respect that I'm answering and deeply honored to be moving forward with. This is Bodhisattva YouTube. Bodhisattva YouTube is about our collective, globally, forming a focus together, a unity of energy, a collective unity and focus of energy, a golden embryo of intention, of light that we're sending off into the cosmos. So the cosmos, the center of our galaxy, can reflect this knowledge, this intention back to us so we can see with clarity and feel intuitively a direction together that we need to move forward with. In Canada, this is 2024. In British Columbia, the western coast of Canada, we have a treaty in relationship to the waterways. The largest dammed river system, physical dams, in the world, the Columbia River, that moves through British Columbia, northern Canada, and into the United States and into the ocean. And there is a treaty that is taking place between these two countries. And this is a tremendous opportunity for us as a people and a culture to remember our indigenous and ancestors and our relationship with water as being sacred to life, all our relations, and to come together around this sacred element and our ancestral indigenous relations in a way that sets precedent for the entire world and globe. So this is a great calling, a great time for us as a people in Canada to be strong together in love, in unity, in cooperation, in working together. This is the year of the wood dragon by the lunar cycles of Eastern astrology, thousands of years. And this dragon is about cooperation. This dragon is about clear energy and movement, unity, growth, abundance, life force. This is an incredible year for us to listen to each other, for us to open our hearts and work together. So I'm going to keep this video short. Again, this is Bodhisattva YouTube, where we form our collective focus, a golden embryo of energy, of intention, to send off into the cosmos together so we can intuitively move forward together, feeling where and the directions that we need to move together. So please do like and subscribe, and most of all share messages that have good stories and that are important to the values we share. So please do share. And what I would like to say before leaving today is what makes it challenging for us to be in unity? What makes it challenging for us to focus on what's most important, how we occupy land and why we occupy land. So why we occupy land and how we occupy land. There's a lot of good medicine, good wisdom that I have to say, so sometimes it comes out backwards. That's all right, like Yoda. So, aho, amama, uanoa, move the energy, let it be free. So, yes, how we occupy land and why we occupy land. These are two great questions, and they're great questions in regards to us moving towards unity together and a new cultural way of life that is more simple and in alignment with our Mother Earth and our Father Cosmos. So, two things I just wanted to mention that I'm noticing, and I got a strong call to just put this video up in the tree and to speak this as soon as it came through, while it was clear, while it was on my heart and in my body and expressing itself through my cells. I got a strong message just to plant myself right here and speak to this camera and broadcast this to you and share it on all the social platforms. Is what really makes it difficult from my perspective, from my humble perspective as your brother, as a human being in this time upon the planet, another part of our consciousness, our unity and oneness as a whole, that is real and that is forever, light, living, existence, what is expressing itself in this body, is really, it's not that difficult to understand. Like, why do we get uptight with each other? What makes it difficult to build houses together or build machines together that are useful for each other? What makes it difficult to grow food? What makes it difficult to celebrate that food and cook it in magnificent ways and enjoy it? What makes it difficult to produce fermentations? What some people enjoy as alcohol. What makes it difficult to grow plant medicines, which some people enjoy as stimulants, you know, and share all these things. And the truth is nothing makes this difficult. And if you have questions about this, there's a lot of false information through our history and a lot of bad practices with Mother Earth in terms of agriculture and gardening. There's, you know, a lot of cultural relationships that need healing between cultures. So if you have any questions about that, please do. That's what I'm here for, is an educational source to talk to and to mediate and to create right relations. So please do talk to me about that. But the point that I'm trying to get out here today, that I'm leading up to, I like to build anticipation. The point that I'm getting to today is what makes it so hard for us. There's two things really that make us uptight and make those simple things, there's really three simple things, how we, you know, do our gardening and agriculture together, the machines we build together, and the houses we build together at this point, until we get into more useful technologies and more useful modes of traveling. That's what we got. So to do those three things, really simple. That's our modern economic society, that's our industrial society, that's what we're sharing, that's what we're working with. What makes it so difficult to be happy, healthy, holy people and working together and just sharing it all? What makes that so difficult? Well, I will tell you what makes that so difficult. Bills, monthly bills, overheads, expectations. That's number one. So bills, overheads, expectations, banks and government's way of organizing things. How much of that is necessary is the question. And why do we use it? What is that machination fueling? What is it generating? What is the generating force in the way we're using it fueling? What intention is it fueling? So these are really good questions, really good questions. So that's just the number one. There's one more. So number one is simply bills, overheads, right? Expectations, monthly expenses, rents. Okay, like the first thing that I have to say about that is, why do we need to pay for a structure once it's complete? Or once it's been paid for once? So yeah, okay, the structure has been completed. There still is some expenses that haven't been paid for. Those need to, and that takes a couple years, and it's been paid for, right? So why does that structure need to be paid for again, ever, by anybody? If the family's passing it on, yes, these are obvious things. Another family buys it and they negotiate and it comes for a price. But what's with the yearly taxes on the land, right? And that I have the answers to that in legality as well. And those are big issues that lawyers and communities need to work out with the federal government and set real standards. So we have a lot of work to do in our government and the bills that are set in the House of Commons, and that's going to take some time, and let's not get overwhelmed by that. But really just focusing on what makes us uptight, what makes it difficult, things that we can think out of the box to get around together, especially in small communities, is bills, overhead, rent, monthly expenses. This is what makes us, this is what makes your business uptight, this is what makes the owner uptight, this is what makes the household uptight, the family uptight, the school uptight, I'm talking the truth, people. This is what makes the associations and every organization, this is what makes us all uptight. This is what makes us fearful. This is what makes us rush. This is what makes us think that we have lack, which we don't. We have less lack now than we ever have had in any civilization and society in our industrial civilization, and how much we take from Earth and how much we produce and how little we share it. There is no lack, okay? There's skyscrapers that are office space that are empty downtown, and you have homeless people all over the streets, when there's buildings that are empty, that reach to the sky, that are empty. They don't have any people staying in them overnight. So these are just simple examples. So please do get on Facebook if you're in Canada, Instagram, and support Meteorite Orca Chief. That is a calling that I'm answering for an independent media source. And on Facebook, not on Instagram yet, but on Facebook, there's also just Orca Chief's independent media. So those are two different sites, Meteorite Orca Chief and Orca Chief's independent media. And that's in the Columbia Basin area in British Columbia, Western Canada, Turtle Island. And we are speaking on behalf of the Indigenous with the blessings. The Tanaha, Joe the Elder has told me that I speak well for the Indigenous truths and to follow my heart and to speak for the people of Canada and to speak for the Indigenous history. So here I am doing that and following that calling and stepping forward. I've also spent some time with the Anonymous Sinaiks, very little, but a bit, and the other Sinaiks group in the Nelson, British Columbia area as well. So, and the Shuswap in Embryo, and also there are some others that I'm getting to know and familiar with as well. So paying respects is the point. That's the only point that I'm making there, is just paying respects and sharing the good Indigenous stories that I also feel connected to, that feels true to these landscapes, that feels wise for us as a people to return to that connection with and to integrate that knowledge into today's society. So I had one other point to make. We had the first one, which was the bills, which was the overheads, which was the expectations, the monthly rent expectations, bottom line. And the second one, what makes us so uptight? This one's a little bit bigger, because I'm not trying to be any fool like Klaus Schwab, who's trying to have power over the entire world and say that you will own nothing and be happy. But there is a truth about ownership, culturally and historically, and where the idea came from. So that's the second one, is simply ownership, owning things, owning the land, owning the car. Like, we know how a fancy car can break up the most beautiful couple with the most incredible compliments for one another and love for each other, and how the lack of trust in a simple object can create havoc within the strongest relationship. So we know how this can happen among community in the ownership of the farmland. In regards to farmland is worked by the people. If you irrigation systems don't work as well, they're less reliable, and we end up having a lot more problems, and the yields aren't as strong. And this is a fact. All right, not a lot of people today get organized and work fields in large groups with consistency and love throughout the entire season and see the yields they get. It's very difficult to organize us today in that manner and to keep us focused in a loving presence upon a land through a 7 to 9 month growing season. Believe it or not, it's very challenging in today's world. So we're getting better at it. So we're returning to the heart space that knows what right relationship is and how we should live on the planet together for all of our benefits. So the first one was slowing us down because we really need to get those overheads and those bills and these expectations that don't really mean anything in the long run. They have everything to do with the second one, ownership and control. So the second one is ownership, which leads to control, right? So it's all about control. The first one is expectations. The second one is control, right? We could go into where that goes, power, but let's just leave it at control, because we're conscious human beings and we can get a hold of ourselves and take self-responsibility for ourselves and talk to each other respectfully and point things out to one another respectfully. So we can discuss these things. So that's my video today. I hope you love it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it triggers you. I hope it challenges you. I hope you integrate it. And I hope you come back with some beautiful comments and share and help me grow as well and see other points of views. So there you have it, Bodhisattva YouTube, forming a golden embryo of energy, of enlightenment, of focus, of great intention for a golden age upon a planet that we're all sending out together so we can manifest a global community that is in unity. And here I am, Olm Gyan Dharam. I'm a yoga teacher, Pilates instructor. My favorite thing to do is teach Pilates. Really simple, slow our nervous system down, get our bodies into deeper rhythms, connecting to Mother Earth, practicing shamanism, walking as Meteorite Orca Chief, honoring the indigenous relationships. That's where my heart is. That's what I love to do. So I hope you really enjoy this video, and do share it. That's most important. And like and subscribe if you want to help me try to make some monetization off these computer things. And believe me, the people that make them and the people that are running all the algorithms and the SEOs and everything, they're making a fortune. So don't worry about just putting a like down and subscribing to a little old civilian, a little young civilian that would hope for a little bit of extra monetization for his intentions that are bringing wellness to the world. So please do help me out that way. All right, you have a lovely day, and thank you for watching. Be well, be loving, be healthy, be kind. Practice a beautiful mantra. I am loving awareness. That one's not mine, but it is beautiful. It came in today from another teacher who's no longer in his body, and a beautiful man, light in his eyes, incredible energy, grounded in his body, just pointing out how we can stay in our highest state of being and our most clear manifestation of wellness in a simple mantra. I am loving awareness. Everything that comes into our awareness, we find love within it. We are love. We are loving awareness. Many blessings.